A list of church synods held in the Frankish Kingdom and its immediate predecessors in the Frankish area, including the Visigothic Kingdom, the Ostrogothic Kingdom, and the Kingdom of Burgundy. Background and importance. Regional synods had been held regularly in the Church of Gaul, more than 30 of them between 314 and 506. The synods listed here mark a particularly Germanic development in the Western Church. To the usual regional or provincial councils, Germanic peoples added a traditional element from the systems of government, the idea of a national council, which was influenced by the Christian East. They also indicate a growing congruence between church and state. While Arian rulers kept the distance from the general councils, Visigoth rulers began influencing the councils only after the conversion of Recordai. As soon as they had established themselves, Merovingian kings exerted their influence on the councils. According to Gregory Harfond, such congruence was a particular quality of the Gallo-Roman Church, in which the Roman aristocracy made up an important part of the leadership of the Gallo-Roman Church. Continuity in this power nexus is indicated also by the continued use of Roman procedures in the councils. An early important churchman is Caesarius of Arles, who presided over the Visigoth synod held at Agde in 506, and then over the Second Council of Orange and the Second Council of Vaison. The synods organized by Caesarius were regional, and were mostly concerned with conforming the canons and practices of the Church of Gaul to those of other churches. At Orange, for instance, he had earlier practices of the Gallic Church anathematized, and at the ensuing council in Vaison liturgical conformity with other churches was established. A model for the following Frankish synods was set by Clovis I, who organized the First Council of Orleans, though he did not himself attend it. He set the agenda and followed the proceedings closely. After the waning of Caesarius's influence and the establishment of Merovingian rule, the focus of the soon-to-be Frankish Church shifted north, to deal with the growing problem of adjusting to deeply embedded Germanic practices, rather than Pelagianism or predestinatarianism. Bishops now had to deal with problems involving marriage, the relations between a warrior aristocracy and clergy, or monks and nuns, the conflicts born of royal influence and control, or of property rights. The basic model established by Clovis entailed a meeting of church leaders which could be convoked by religious or secular authorities. The result of such meetings were ecclesiastical legislative decisions called canons. Another aspect of synods was judicial. Those who had transgressed ecclesiastical and other law were investigated and judged. Finally, synods decided on matters of grants and privileges. Many of the synods, though not all, have what can be called conciliar status, that is, they were convoked by a monarchical authority. Especially in the Frankish Church, the great number of conciliar canons is evidence of the close relationship between the rulers and the Church. By the 8th century, however, the regular organization of synods had largely disappeared, and when Boniface complained to Pope Zacharias in 742 that there hadn't been a synod in the Frankish Church in at least 80 years, he was not exaggerating by much. Boniface's Concilium Germanicum was the first of 3 reform councils he organized in his attempts to reform the Frankish Church. He was only partially successful in his attempts, and never really succeeded in disentangling the close relationship between nobility and clergy, which in many cases had led to church property being owned by noblemen and the families. Post-Roman synods held in Gaul before the Frankish period. Visigoth Synod, Synod of Agde, Synod of Marseille, Council of Septimania, Ostrogoth Synod, Synod of Arles, Synod of Arles, Synod of Carpentras, Second Council of Orange, Second Council of Vaison, Burgundian Synods, Council of Lyon, Council of Upper One united the ecclesiastical provinces of Lyon and Vienne. Council of Lyon. Second Council of Valence. Frankish synods. 6th century. First Council of Orleans. Second Council of Orleans. Council of Clermont. Third Council of Orleans. Fourth Council of Orleans. Council of Clermont. Fifth Council of Orleans. Synod of Toul, presided over by Nicetius. Synod of Paris. Synod of Metz. Synod of Oz. Second Synod of Paris. Synod of Brittany. Synod of Arles. Second Council of Tours. Synod of Paris, by order of Guntram. Synod of Paris, by order of Chilperic I. Synod of Saints. Synod of Macon. Council of Lyon. Third Council of Valence. Council of Auvergne. 7th century. 6th Council of Orleans. Council of Clichy. Synod of Macon. Council of Clichy. 6th Council of Orleans, convoked by Clovis II. Council of Bourges, declared invalid by Sigebert III. Synod of Chalon-sur-Saône. Synod of Arles. First Synod of Rouen, decided on simony and on liturgical and canonical matters. Synod of Paris. Council of Clichy. Synod of Nantes. Synod of Bordeaux, convoked by Childeric II. Synod of Autun. Synod of Saint-Jean-de-Losne, convoked by Childeric II. Synod of Malay-Loire, convoked by Thedric III. Synod of Auxerre. 8th century. Concilium Germanicum, presided over by Boniface. Council of Astinus. Boniface's Second Reform Council. Soissons. Synod of Gentilly, sanctioned the traditional Trinity and veneration of images in the Western Church. 9th century. Synod of Worms. Synod of Tribert, presided over by Hatto I.